Forum. I'd like to introduce the president of our college, Dr. Geraldine Perry. I'd like to welcome everyone here to the association present debate. We have 4 candidates running for board membership. I'd like to introduce on my left here, your right, Ms. Montgomery, Joanne Montgomery. Re-elect. Ms. Suki. Mr. Bruce Carter. And Mr. Tracy Rickman. On behalf of Citrus College and the Faculty Association, I'd like to thank all 4 candidates for coming to our forum, and I'm very happy that this worked out well. Now, I want to have a special thank you to John Pincher, who did most of this work. So thank you. Okay, we are going to start off the rules of the forum that was developed by the e-board and guests at the e-board meeting. Will be as follows. We'll have a 3-minute opening statement prior to the forum. We went ahead randomly and selected an order. The order will be Mr. Carter, Ms. Keith, Ms. Montgomery, and then Mr. Rickman. That is the order that was selected. And the closing statement will go in reverse. So we'll go the opposite direction, where Mr. Rickman will start off with his closing statement. The opening statement will be 3 minutes long. John Pincher will be the timekeeper. We have 4 questions that the association developed, and that will be asked, and each candidate will, in random various order, will give 2-minute responses. Then we will have we will have some time for the open questions. We probably cannot get to everybody's question. Mr. Langford, Bruce Langford, our chief negotiator back there, will be selecting or helping me select questions for that you're writing on your cards right now. And you need to give the cards to Mr. Langford so he can take care of that near the end of the meeting. At the final stage of our forum, we will then go ahead and have 2-minute closing statements from each candidate, and then we will conclude the forum. And again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today, so thank you. Let's go ahead and start with the opening statements. Mr. Carter, if you would.
Hello, I am Bruce Carter. I have spent my life as an educator. I worked since 1971 at Pasadena City College as a faculty member, a department chair, a divisional dean, and even interim vice president of instruction. I've also served 12 years on the Monrovia Unified School District Board. I have been 4 or 5 years on the board of the California School Boards Association and other organizations. My life has been devoted to education. When I retired a few years ago, I decided that I really wanted to continue working in education. It's something I have loved all my life. I have an in-depth knowledge of, considerable experience. I know it's not at Citrus College, although I have over many years maintained acquaintanceships with people on the faculty here at Citrus. I have been to various functions at Citrus over the years, so I am reasonably familiar with Citrus College as well. I know it's a strike against me to be from Pasadena City College, but on the other hand, the skills that work in one classroom or division work in others. So I am running for the board because of my desire to continue working in education. I feel that I have considerable vision. Over the years, I have instituted a variety of positive changes. As a faculty member, new courses. I was instrumental in starting a vocational program in environmental technology and a biotechnology program when I was dean. I set up and supervised a committee that awarded $30 million in grants for student success projects. $500,000 grant from the National Science Foundation to set up a digital media. And so, what was that? Was
1 minute.
1 minute, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you very much. So I have done a variety of things, including through the California School Boards Association, setting up a principal exchange program with principals in China who come over to visit school districts in California for up to 8 weeks. So I have lately been traveling back and forth to China, but I want to be involved in local educational issues. Citrus College is a fabulous institution, and I would love to be involved in working here with you all in Citrus College. Thank you.
It's a lot easier to have you at a board meeting, by the way. Thank you for inviting me to talk with you this afternoon. When I think about why I first started to be on board at Citrus College, I think about after 12 years of being on the Claremont School Board, I was honored with a number of awards. This sort of helped me to realize that I had skills as a board member, and they were of true value. As an advocate for public education and a product of a community college, I hope that I could continue to use my skills at Citrus College. Serving on the board has been a genuine pleasure and honor, and mostly because of all of you. I would like to continue serving Citrus for a number of reasons, not the least of which is to support our president and her leadership, our dedicated faculty and staff, the progress of our new strategic plan and our soon-to-be completed educational master plan, and a shared governance system that values participatory decision-making. You asked what I do in the community to represent Citrus. Well, just today, Dr. Perry and I represented the college at the installation of a new president of Claremont University Center. I've invited Dr. Perry and other college representatives to speak at various service groups in the Chamber of Commerce. I regularly send out blast emails. In fact, when people see me coming, oh, you're going to talk about Citrus, aren't you? I've written letters and columns about Citrus College for the Claremont Courier. When it comes time for introduction at events, I try always to say something about Citrus. At Christmas, I sit and put out Citrus holiday cards to leaders in our community. I've provided the Performing Arts Center and the foundation with about 1,500 active residents, names of 15 and addresses of 1,500 active residents of Claremont. I regularly invite local residents to our performing arts presentations and athletic events. And I have been known to cultivate and solicit donors for the college. During the colder weather, I even do dorky things like wear our Citrus College sweatshirt around town. It's expensive to be a trustee. I probably attend 2 or 3 events a week and am a member of numerous organizations where I'm known as the Citrus College trustee. There's more, but I don't want you to glaze over. I see all of this as an opportunity to represent Citrus, and I strive to do so with the energy and enthusiasm that you and our college deserves.
Well, it's been my honor to serve as your Board of Trustee member, and I think you all know how much I love Citrus College. It's in my heart. I love you all. I love going out to my community in Monrovia and talking about all the Citrus successes, and then I love coming to the college and participating in all the events that you invite me to. I love to come to everything because it gives me a chance to get to know you better and to get to know the college better, and I think I can do a better job if I get to know people personally and know about your departments and know what you're doing. You asked me why I wanted to be to state in this opening statement why I wanted to be a board member, because I love Citrus College and I'm so excited about the progress we're making. I love working on the Measure G bond project. I thought that was great, and then to see how we've transformed this physical plant into this gorgeous, gorgeous, spectacular campus. And then yesterday going to the student services dedication to see what we're doing for our students and what could be better than having services like that for student success. The fiscal scene of the college is constantly changing, and I feel you really need experienced trustees that know the history of the college in order to give guidance during these challenges. And I feel like I'm up to the job, and I think we need to continue to maintain excellence in our educational programs while still recognizing sound fiscal responsibility. And you asked me to tell you in my opening statement what I do for the community. Well, I'm constantly out in the community in both Monrovia and Duarte advocating for Citrus College, forming partnerships and developing all kinds of avenues of communication. I go to coordinating council every month where I tell them all the events that are happening in Citrus College and all the things that are happening at the Hall of Performing Arts Center so that Monrovia and Duarte citizens can come out and take advantage of all our wonderful opportunities. I go on to the Monrovia Chamber of Commerce, several committees. I'm on the legislative committee where I meet monthly with area legislators to discuss issues and bills relating to community, business, and schools. The Beacon Committee, which we partnership for a beautiful mural that's on the side of the building of ITT and Deep Space Network. We have with our Monrovia Reads program, we have Citrus tutors that go out and work with middle and high school students. Dr. Perry and I attended the first leadership conference for youth for Monrovia and Duarte. It was very exciting. Dr. Perry gave the opening address. I'm involved as the director of the Duarte Chamber of Commerce, where I interact with business and community leaders. And Dr. Perry and Citrus College is going to be honored October 9th for a special thank you for what we do in partnership with the Duarte School District. I'm on the board of directors of the Monroe Foothills Boys and Girls Club, and we have all kinds of partnerships with that group. In fact, at Christmas, our Citrus group, Citrus Singers, are going to be singing. And so I'm just dedicated to my community, and I'm dedicated to Citrus College, and I just want to continue to build these partnerships. Thank you all.
To be here today. My name is Tracy Rickman. I'm currently a full-time faculty at Rio Hondo Community College. I oversee the fire technology program. I've taught at Cerritos College and at Glendale College. I've taught at Cal State LA and Cal State Long Beach. And the reason why I'm doing this here, as far as this election is concerned, is because I want to see more jobs. Right now, where we're at with the economy is I know for a fact that we can, and the community colleges can collectively do more than what we're doing in the aspects of getting people trained for a career. I have 7 children, I have 2 grandchildren, I have 2 nephews currently going to Citrus College. My own 2 children are going to Mount San Jacinto College. They can't get classes. Just this semester here at Citrus, I had to have 16 students walk away from my class, and I'm really about career technical education. I'm about jobs and about what we can do to do better than what we're doing now as relationships are concerned with either a semester or 2 and having people get a job. President Obama recently has a pathway to work proposal out there. I'm not sure if it's going to pass the House or Senate, but the thought and the concept is what we should be focusing on, and that is using the community colleges. That's what we're here for, to train people, educate people, instruct people to work, to get a job. As far as my background is concerned, I have a master's degree from the University of Laverne. I have an undergraduate degree in marketing and 2 community college degrees. I spent 7 years in the United States Air Force. I'm really huge on the veterans. My son went to Iraq and is a disabled veteran himself. And so here again, that's another part of my platform, is taking care of our veterans for sure. Also, as far as the community is concerned, at Claremont, that's where I reside. We had many years of Boy Scouts, and when our children were smaller, I was very involved with the Red Cross. Right now I sit on the executive board at the Whittier chapter of the American Red Cross. The Red Cross is going through a lot of change, a lot of financial difficulty right now. They're being cut. The Claremont chapter is even suffering right now, and that's really something that really is important to me, is the American Red Cross, and also training. I supported the Claremont CERT team training, the Citizens Emergency Response Team. I supported them in some of their hands-on type training for the City of Claremont and also for the City of Commerce in Pasadena. So I'm very involved, and I want to stay active, and I want to push what we can do to enhance the aspect of our students coming here, getting classes, stop cutting classes as much as possible, and tie it directly to jobs. Thank you.
once during our very successful bond election, and I think the dedication of the Student Services Building was a pinnacle of that. The second during accreditation. I'm a current board member of the Citrus College Foundation and a Options, which is a child care and human services agency, so I've served on a lot of boards. I'm past president of the Claremont Board of Education, Baldwin View ROP Commission, and the Claremont Forum. I'm a past board member of the League of Women Voters and the Chamber of Commerce in Claremont. I have 20 years of professional experience in educational public relations at Cal Poly Pomona, Pitzer College, and Claremont Graduate University, and 15 years of experience in professional fundraising for community-based nonprofit organizations. I'm a current member of Kiwanis, Claremont Heritage, AUW, Citrus College Music Department's Golden Circle, and the League of Women Voters. So I have a lot of experience as a board member, and I've enjoyed it tremendously, especially here.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I've been a resident of the district for 50 years and a former elementary school teacher, 32 years, and a longtime community volunteer both in Monrovia and in Doherty. And I believe that I've exhibited the insight and the creativity to proper skill set that's necessary to solve complex issues related to the students' education. I've been on the board here at Citrus 12.5 years. I had an opportunity to govern through both bad and good financial times, and I've served under 3 presidents, and I've had an opportunity to contribute to the board by being an advocate for the college. I think that the role of a college trustee is advocating out in your community as well as at the national and state level. I go to Sacramento every once a year for our legislative conference, and I also advocate at the national level. I've advocated for the Pell Grants for students and also for the Gold Line at a national level. Of course, you know, we invite legislators often to the campus and we have a chance. Oh, no. Well, anyway, you've heard about me getting out into the community oh, I know I've been, the greatest thing I've done is I had the opportunity to be the representative for the self-study for the accreditation, and I learned so much during that. And then I was also on the ad hoc committee for redoing our, updating our policies and procedures, and this too was a great learning experience. So, and then being on the foundation, I was on the foundation for 4 years, and this gave me a chance to really work with our foundation, with their fundraising, and I got to be volunteers, and it was a Citrus alum, which was a great honor. I think that's it.
Thank you, Joanne.
On here on this. I personally aided in the hiring of about 298 students who, after taking a 1-semester wildland fire course, which I led the curriculum development on at Rio Hondo, to get hired with the U.S. Forest Service, and they were paid between $13 and $17 an hour. I have another 184 past students that are now working in California and Oregon at the Bureau of Land Management offices, with the U.S. Forest Service, and CAL FIRE. And you can look at all this information at www.firecrew77.com. If you were noticing the paper this past week on Monday and Tuesday, there were 2 articles about what I'm talking about today. It's kind of interesting it worked out that way. The first thing is in the Pasadena Star News and San Gabriel Tribune on Monday and again on Tuesday, there were 2 articles about the training center at the Rio Hondo College Santa Fe Springs location. That is a collaboration effort of 31 city fire departments, police departments, and community agencies coming together collectively to build this site. It wasn't all from the college. Teamwork, collaboration, cooperation is what I've been about for the past 30 years. Being dedicated to the mission outcomes, things get done, people get hired, and people want to be part of successful programs. We at Citrus need to be inspired to promote success in our students, specifically in terms of getting jobs. I'm not saying we're not doing that now, but what I am saying is that if we're truly advocates of our students, we will shift priority supporting them to learning the concepts needed tied to a future job. I specifically mean courses that may be 1 or 2 semesters in length, but end with students either being recruited out of that class or have a job waiting for them once they've completed it. Thank you.
Thank you. I, of course, have been on the board of Monrovia Unified School District for 12 years, plus I was appointed for 1 additional year to fill a vacancy. Now I'm ready to go to college, and I want to fill that role here at Citrus Community College. I served on the board of directors of the California School Boards Association for a number of years, representing all school districts in the San Gabriel Valley. And as such, I was very experienced lobbying in Sacramento and working with legislators, and also in Washington, D.C. So I've had that kind of experience. My detailed knowledge of how college works is a real asset. However, probably more importantly than that, in terms of this position, is that I know that that would not be the position of a board member. A board member comes to an organization in order to set policies and to oversee the budget and make budget priorities, and to ensure and set an institutional culture and a management structure that allows the staff at the college to innovate and to find new and better ways to do things, because the world is changing right now in a massive way, and we're not going to see lots and lots of money raising our income in the future. We're going to have to find ways to work smarter. As a board member, I know my role is to oversee that and set up a structure that allows the staff members at the college to do an effective job. Thank you.
Thank you. Is, what financial challenges do you think this district faces in the coming few years, and how do you think you can help with them?
Well, yes, we're definitely going to have some financial challenges, and I think it's going to happen in spring, because it's predicting that the budget is not coming up to what's been forecasted, and it's going to be about $539 million that we're not going to get in our budget. So I doubt that it will happen, because housing is down, employment's up, and we've slowed job growth, and stock market's down. So I think we have to be ready, and I know we've got the worst budget scenario that we're facing, but I still think we have to be ready for those mid-year cuts. I think we have to stop with we have to watch our deficit spending very carefully so that we can protect our reserve. I know that this year in our budget we have $4.5 million in deficit spending, and we're going to have to watch that very carefully. We have to watch the 75-25 law, because we don't want to be penalized financially with that. I think we need to be very prudent, and we need to plan well with our staffing. We've done a good job up to now, but I think we need to continue that. And our hands are somewhat tied because of our, most of our budget is spent on employees. But I think that fiscal accountability is very important. I think our decisions need to be tied to the long-range plan. And again, I agree with Bruce. I think we really need to advocate for money from the state. Community colleges are certainly the engine that drives California's economy. We're the trainers of California's workforce. And if we're going to meet President Obama's American Graduation Initiative, he's calling for 20 million post-secondary educated workers in our economy by 2025, then we have a big task before us.
Thank you.
Maintain minimum reserves plus the additional reserves were needed, but not cut across the board the classes that we've cut. I would seek other ways, and I'm not so sure that we haven't really found other ways or means to cut in lieu of saving courses and classes. And this falls back on the fact that 88 plus sections this semester, students being not able to get their classes, having to stay longer at the community college to earn their associate degree. Offer additional sections that best serve our students, and these will be tied to jobs and job training. Look at ways to partner and provide additional collaboration with industry, local municipalities, and local businesses. I'll give you an example. This morning from 8:30 till about 1 o'clock this afternoon, I was in Laverne at the MW, the Metropolitan Water District, talking with them about some of their needs specifically for their 5 locations here in Southern California. Those are the type of things that we need to bring to the college, of those local businesses and municipalities and those agencies that are seeking job training for their employees. Review current administrative positions, seek out consolidation where possible. Focus on the main mission, which is to offer classes and serve students seeking careers, jobs, and transfers. Not lay off any employee, but through attrition, find ways to consolidate effort where possible.
Thank you.
Of course, as a board member, one goes to legislators and advocates for adequate funding. I would say it's hardly adequate lately, and they are used to hearing that, and sometimes you think you're talking to a wall, but you have to do it, and you have to advocate amongst the community as well. Those are important roles that you have to take, but you also have to oversee what the budget is doing day to day, and that is something that a board member, of course, is going to be receiving budget updates probably 24 times a year, so you get pretty familiar with it. And I don't have that total familiarity. I do know that the budget this year shows almost $4.5 million deficit spending, which there are adequate reserves at the moment, but I have to be concerned about what this can lead to in the next couple of years, because I don't think this is a one-time kind of thing. The problem is, deficit spending continued is going to lead to the need for a catastrophic crash where staff layoffs and elimination of programs happen. I've lived through that at Pasadena City College many, many years ago. It's highly destructive of any institution, and it is simply something to be avoided. So I don't have answers to this. I, of course, have been intimately involved in budgetary issues over many, many years, and I know there are things one can do, but I don't claim to have answers. But all I can say is we must be very careful to avoid layoffs and laying off programs.
Thank you.
In our shared governance system at Citrus, especially how it is right now. And I think year after year I've watched us go into the deficit and then come out of the deficit, and go back into the deficit and come out of the deficit. And I want to congratulate everyone in this room for enabling us not to ever have a financial disaster at Citrus College. I do think that the role of the board member more is to lobby and to be in Sacramento and to be in Washington, wherever we have to be, to invite the legislators here, to make sure we go and meet them in their ground. I'll tell you, during the last 2 years, during the administration of Governor Schwarzenegger, we didn't have the draconian cuts that we could have had. And it was good. It was good because then when we went up to Sacramento, we could talk with the legislators and thank them for not making those draconian cuts. We are now. We are bleeding. We're at the end of our rope. We've had to cut classes. Right now, I think we need to take a stronger stance in Sacramento and really tell them what's happening at the community colleges. We're losing a generation of students, whether it be students who are going to be coming to Citrus for certificates, or whether it be students who are coming to transfer, or whether it be students who are for basic skills. And we need to have that clear picture. I remember a couple of years ago where the students went to Sacramento and they had the missing student. I don't know if everyone remembers that campaign. We went up to Sacramento right after that, and all of the legislators said, you really got our attention. We need to do that. That's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have faculty go with us, not just us alone, it's everyone, faculty, staff, students. And I hope you'll all join us when we do this.
Thank you. And question number 3, do you see any advantages or disadvantages to establishing department chairs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. I have an answer for you. Because I am a department chair, so to speak. I'm more used to the term coordinator. We're on to college. I'm a full-time faculty member, tenured faculty member, and chairs, coordinators, in my mind, are pretty much the same thing. I have at least time to run a program or run programs. The need to have flexibility for faculty members to have that oversight of the programs, I think, is very key, and I think it's a wise use of resources. Many colleges that I've taught for have chairs and coordinator faculty positions. These positions allow that flexibility for the management and the deans for oversight. What it's about is it's about cooperation and non-duplication of effort. If a faculty member oversees a program and has a load in this program to teach, administrators should see this as a positive situation. The program wins, the student wins, and the costs associated with manager-like duties are shared. Kind of what Sue was saying with shared governance. I think chairs overall are a great concept, and like coordinators, they provide the resource. Faculty in the form of a chair is a concept that provides shared governance, direct student and faculty ties, and I think it fosters the growth of the program. I couldn't do what I do in the last 10 years, last decade at Rio Hondo, growing the programs, getting people jobs that we have and the success we've had, if I wasn't able to have that flexibility as being a program chair, program coordinator. Very much for it.
Thank you.
On and on about that question because I have been a division dean. I have been a faculty chair. I've been a dean with chairs and without chairs. And if you would give me perhaps a little more, maybe 2 hours, I could give you a full exposition.
Not my lifetime, sir.
Pros and cons. However, I would maintain that that's not necessarily an appropriate question for a candidate for the board. Because sure, I have opinions, I have abundant experience with that. But the board member isn't there to set up the details of the management structure. The board member is there to set policies, to foster a culture in the college, a one of shared governance, one in which the management structure can be allowed to develop using the staff that we have to develop what works for their unique situation. What works for Pasadena City College is by no guarantee going to work for Citrus. Maybe it would, but maybe it wouldn't. But as a board member, don't ask me that unless you just want some random opinions, because I am not a board member to set the details like that. I know it's an important question. It's one that should be developed through shared governance and a fair management structure, and I would be very interested to see how that develops, but don't ask me, the board member, to do it, or even to express an opinion, because that's up to you all to do that.
Thank you. Sue Keith, please.
Department chairs would be, at least in talking to people, because I do agree with you, I think department chairs would be an advantage, particularly in a large division that has diverse disciplines. I think it would be very helpful to have a department chair or a faculty coordinator, whatever we want to call that. I know that we had a task force that was looking at the possibilities, and it's my understanding that the task force was through the Academic Senate, and that now the work is going to go to the Faculty Association. I don't know any disadvantages. I do have a question, and it kind of goes along the same lines, of shared governance. With financial challenges, what question I would have was, what kind of priority, and of course this would be answered in negotiations, would department chairs take in terms of other kinds of things people might want on the campus? So that would be my question.
Thank you. Jeremy, please.
Well, when I first came aboard as a trustee, this was a big controversy, and the department chairs were just being phased out. I know it was quite controversial, and so I really don't know how they worked, and I kind of feel like Bruce Carter, it's kind of hard for us to determine. I do feel it should be more a shared governance job. But I have talked, like Sue, I've talked with faculty and staff, and I've heard the needs of many departments, and I think there is a problem sometimes when a dean has multiple disciplines within his department, and sometimes the leadership of the department chair would help a lot for him. And oftentimes I think some of our deans are overworked, and perhaps it might be helpful to have a department chair. But again, I feel that's up to our shared governance to decide this. I think might be a problem in this economic time. It might be, the expense of it might be very prohibitive And I know the Academic Senate is reviewing this, and I think this is a good thing. And I am certainly very interested and open to their suggestions and proposals. And I'm definitely in favor of exploring all possibilities. But I think the important thing is whatever governance that we choose, that we all function as a team so that we support our students in the best way possible.
The final question, we will start off with Bruce Carter, and question number 4 from the association is this. If elected, what do you think needs to be accomplished to better Citrus College, and how do you plan to accomplish this?
What needs to be accomplished? Well, you know, we need to function in the current financial situation that we are dealing with. We need to try to get more support, but that may or may not be forthcoming. We need to find ways to innovate that we can better serve our students. Citrus College is uniquely, advantageously situated. We have a large campus. We have beautiful, spacious, well-designed buildings. We have an energetic and engaged staff. We have the Gold Line that will be coming by with a station nearby. We can start to draw students from across the San Gabriel Valley. And I believe we should be looking at innovative ways to provide education to our students. And it is a new and a changing world, big time. You know, when I was a kid, we used to have great big sets of encyclopedias. Now, you just go online and you check out Wikipedia or you Google something, and you don't need that encyclopedia. I loved them because that's where I learned to read, frankly. We need to use new tools to innovate, to find ways to better serve more students. And I see online courses, not totally online, but ones that can be advantageously used. I see counseling as a key to success by students if we can get them focused on where they need to go. So I think there are lots of things we need to do, and I feel that I am in a position to help achieve those.
I guess it could be called priorities, and one of my major priorities would be to support the implementation of the strategic plan. And I think that's the pinnacle of shared governance on our campus. I remember about a year ago, we were all in the campus center and everyone was throwing out ideas, and I think there were like 1,000 ideas. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to achieve all of them, but I think the plan really goes a long way to address almost all of the kinds of the concepts that people have. I would also like to maximize resources, which is in the plan. I think we need to maintain our fiscal stability, which we've been doing for a number of years. I think we need to increase classes. But I don't think that we can do that without help from the state. And I think we can go only so far maximizing resources. And then we've got to get help from the state. And I really do believe that that's going to be, needs to be a major effort on the part of community colleges statewide. We need to hire new faculty for those classes. And I too do not support any layoffs of any sort. And last but not least, we need to keep our talented faculty, staff, administration, leadership, president justly compensated.
Well, my priority, what I want to support is student success. And again, I think we do this through the strategic plan, the education and facility master plan, and implementation of the integrated planning manual, because I think all of those focus on success for our Citrus students. And I would like to see our students move along as quickly as possible through the educational process. I don't want us to be just a parking lot here at Citrus with the students. I know we need parking, but I want our students to achieve their goals just as quickly as possible. And I think this is extremely important during this financial crisis because we have so many students waiting to enter and very few classes for them to attend. So that I want to really work on moving students along quickly. And I like us to focus on being a data-driven institution by linking our SLO, program review, assessment, and research so we can better make our budget and better plan and make better budget allocations. Again, we need to I'd like to form more partnerships with the community, with the outreach to our high school. I'm interested in some innovative, creative programs with our high school. I know a lot of things we can't do without money. Early college, dual enrollment, bringing back our academic advisors at the high school. But there's a lot of things we can do too without money. So like Sue, my goal is to maximize our limited resources and still maintain a high-level instructional program so that our students can achieve those associate degrees and certificate completion and employment and transfer. Because what could be more exciting than every student at Citrus being successful? I think that should be our biggest goal, success for every Citrus student.
First of all, I think what we have to do at Citrus is I think that we have to look at the existing courses, the diesel mechanic, cosmetology, dental assistant, EMT, nursing, auto technology, and we need to support the faculty by going out and looking at the community that we're serving and seeing if those programs even need to be expanded. Look at the programs we currently have, find out exactly where we're at, and if they need to be expanded based on data, jobs in the next 3 to 5 years. Understanding that the majority of the monies that we receive are from the state, we need to look at other opportunities. Have we let other opportunities slip through our hands because we're so focused on the state budget, which of course is the majority of the monies and the funds for the college? But I think the board needs to encourage out-of-box thinking, and even the smallest amounts can add up. When I'm talking specifically about contracts, community education, and other related services that can be brought into Citrus College. How about 20 classes coming back from a funding source outside of the state monies that we're receiving? I think we need to look into that. I'm not so sure we have, and I can tell you that it can and does happen. I've done it personally. Other colleges have done it. I'm sure it's happened here as well. But I think we really have to do more in that area when it comes to community services and contracts with the people we're serving in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.